So, if you think you know Tether, well, you might want to think again. Let's dive right into this explainer and unpack the incredibly complex, multi-layered reality of what Tether actually is in the year 2026. I mean, if you've been anywhere near the digital asset space, you know it's a household name. But here's the thing, the entity operating today, it is vastly different from the one that launched over a decade ago. We're talking about a transformation from a simple utility into a literal global financial pillar. Understanding how it operates today is absolutely critical.
To really grasp why this matters, we have to first confront its sheer, undeniable scale. We are talking about a staggering $189 billion circulating supply. Just think about that magnitude for a second. That number makes Tether, or USDT, the undisputed largest stablecoin by market cap in the entire world. It's no longer just some digital token. It is a foundational component of the modern decentralized economy, moving immense amounts of capital around the globe every single day.
So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll be looking at 1. The $189 billion digital dollar. 2. The 2026 regulatory split. 3. Defending the peg. 4. The infrastructure pivot. And 5. Masterclass, or systemic risk. All right, let's get into it.
Section 1. The $18 billion digital dollar.
When you look at Tether's evolution over the years, it maps out almost perfectly like a pyramid. Down at the base, way back in 2014, it was basically just a friction reducer, right? A niche tool providing trading pair liquidity for crypto day traders. But as we move up through the 2020s, it evolved into a massive global remittance and inflation hedge, which became particularly vital for the global south. And now, at the very top in 2026, it has become a parallel base layer for global decentralized infrastructure and sovereign technology deployment.
And supporting this massive $189 billion structure is a 100% reserve backing. What's absolutely fascinating about their vault composition is that it's primarily US Treasury bills. That actually makes Tether one of the largest holders of US government debt globally. Toss in some strategic holdings in Bitcoin and gold, and you have a reserve composition specifically designed to secure its position as the ultimate bridge. A bridge between the stability of traditional fiat currency and the incredibly fast, borderless efficiency of native blockchains.
Section 2. The 2026 regulatory split.
Now, managing a bridge of this size meant adapting to different territories. For its core global operations, Tether deliberately anchored itself in El Salvador. Tether International operates under the country's progressive legal frameworks for digital assets, and they enjoy a tax-exempt regime for digital asset yields. They are officially registered with the National Commission of Digital Assets, or CNAD, meaning they're fully authorized as a stablecoin issuer and digital assets service provider. This specific framework serves as the home base for the vast majority of the global USDT supply.
But here's the crucial point. How does this contrast with the US market? Well, in July 2025, the Genius Act established a super strict US federal framework. It mandated a one-to-one high-quality liquid asset backing and monthly attestations from PCAOB-registered firms. So what did Tether do? They didn't force their global token into this rigorous American regulatory box. Instead, they launched a parallel, fully US-regulated entity called USDT, doing so via Anchorage Digital Bank. This move effectively split the token's architecture into two totally distinct regulatory realities just to serve completely different jurisdictional requirements. Section 3. Defending the peg.
Okay, at a $189 billion scale, defending a one-to-one peg to the US dollar is frankly a monumental logistical task. At its core, Tether is a pegged currency, meaning one USDT is designed to represent exactly one US dollar. And as the sole issuer and custodian, Tether alone controls the levers here. They create and destroy tokens to ensure that the circulating supply perfectly, seamlessly matches the fiat sitting in their vault.
So how does that primary market lifecycle actually operate? Well, it's kind of like an exclusive club. Verified institutional customers have to complete strict KYC and deposit a minimum of $100,000 in fiat. Tether then issues the equivalent tokens directly to the customer's wallet. When it's time for redemption, they revoke those tokens, literally removing them from circulation entirely, and send the fiat right back to the customer's bank account. It is this continuous, high-volume primary market flow that financially incentivizes the broader open market to maintain that one-to-one peg for everyday users like us.
Section 4. The infrastructure pivot. Now here is where things get really wild. By 2016, Tether is no longer just a stablecoin issuer, they are an infrastructure giant. They are actively deploying their massive capital reserves to build foundational, decentralized technology stacks. It's essentially a direct challenge to traditional tech monopolies and centralized cloud providers.
This ambitious pivot covers some truly groundbreaking territory.
First up, you have Hadron. This is a comprehensive platform designed to tokenize literally any physical or digital asset, anywhere in the world. Then there's the WDK, an open-source wallet development kit aimed at making non-custodial USDT and Bitcoin integration totally seamless for developers. But the real showstopper? QVAC. They are actually billing this as the engine of the 21st century. It's a fully sovereign, private, and localized operating system for artificial intelligence. I mean, wow, that is a staggering leap from where they started as a simple trading pair liquidity tool.
Section 5. Masterclass or systemic risk.
When you look at this new bifurcated architecture, you really see two deeply divided camps. On one side, proponents view this regulatory split and infrastructure pivot as an absolute masterstroke of geopolitical agility. They argue Tether is brilliantly localizing its products and using its massive global dominance to fund a resilient, decentralized future. On the other hand, critics look at the exact same data and they see regulatory arbitrage. They see fragmented jurisdictions and dangerous vulnerabilities forming within a globally systemic asset that, let's be honest, simply cannot afford to fail.
Critics specifically point out a major structural concern, beautifully captured by this idea of two tiers of trust. By leaving the vast majority of the global $189 billion supply outside the rigorous US Genesis Act framework, critics argue Tether's essentially operating on a double standard. See, while the USATT product undergoes strict monthly PCOB-registered attestations, the global token relies on quarterly BDO attestations. And those are just point-in-time snapshots, right? Not comprehensive, ongoing financial audits. So the argument here is that this exposes the most vulnerable users outside the US to potential systemic risks. Risks that the American market is actively being protected from.
So, as we wrap up this explainer and you reflect on the sheer, mind-boggling scale of the 2026 digital dollar, you have to ask yourself a question. Is Tether's bifurcated AI funding $189 billion network the ultimate resilient foundational infrastructure that the decentralized world desperately needs, or is it an unsustainable structural tightrope balancing dangerously between regulatory havens? It's a massive puzzle, and the market is stress-testing that exact answer in real time. Thanks for joining me on this explainer today. Keep questioning the systems around you, and I'll catch you next time.